And we are live and in colour. Welcome, welcome. Good evening, everybody. My name's Ugly Kiwi, and this is the Paradym Bold D&D live stream for this week. Welcome to the players. We left off last week at a pretty crucial moment, but we're getting close to our end time. We didn't want to get into combat right towards the end of the show, so we sort of held off and decided to do it at the start of this show. So we're going to get right into some combat right off the bat. First and foremost, though, we've got a couple of announcements. Again, reminder, not this show, but 2 weeks' time, I believe the 8th of December will be our final show for the year. We will be taking a break over Christmas, New Year, and coming back in the new year with same show, but all refreshed into the new year. But also, too, we'll be running weekly for a time. So definitely keep an eye out for that. Keep an eye out on the Twitter, on the Discord. We'll be announcing those dates and everything. Then just a channel announcement. We had our merch draw on Friday night. Our winners were Lich Reaver, Gung Ho Guy, and the Drax. So those guys will be getting an item off the merch store in the next couple of 3 weeks, which is freaking awesome. So because we had our 25 sub goal, which is great. So that was amazing. Rigged. Come on, Pecker. Fucking rigged. But yeah.
Gun Ho got gifted the bloody sub.
I know, right? So did Lich Reaver, I believe. So we had two, but they're both regulars in the channel. One's a mod, one's a regular. And Drax, Lich Reaver's not a regular in the channel as such, but he's a regular in the Discord, and he's sort of here when he's here. But we're going to do more giveaways over the next year. As our subs increase, hopefully we'll be able to do more. But anywho, without further ado, we will get into tonight's recap for the show. Episode 16, 2 weeks ago, we found a group of heroes still aboard the Monarch's Wrath after the battle with the Sahuagin taking a well-deserved rest, spending another couple of days travelling to the shores of the Graven Waste Grove north of Ardenis. The ship navigated its way through small islands and coral reefs, sustaining minor damages along the way. Captain Eingart offered the group a partial refund for their aid in the battle, but Hett insisted in keeping and remembering the group's kindness. You then travelled by longboat to the coast. Once you reached there, Hett led the party through a small, almost like goat's path up through the cliffs to the top, reaching the tree line of the Twilight Jungle. Making camp there for the evening, Hett set some snares to try and catch some small game, and succeeded, catching a couple of rabbits and a badger/beaver that managed to escape. During the night's watch, nothing much occurred. Hett saw the pesky beaver again. Fiala, after transforming into said badger/beaver, left her mark on Hett. Good evening. The next day, the group travelled towards the crossroads near Ardenis. After hearing gnoll cries and howls in the distance, they proceeded with caution. Neymar spied some mushrooms growing at the crossroads and was sprayed with a poisonous cloud from blue fungus. It was then the group realised they were being ambushed by a band of gnolls, and this is where we pick up our story for this evening, where we will all roll initiative. And we will switch right over to our battle map. Get music running. Just let me find the initiative tracker. Over to here. Alrighty then. So initiative, Alessandros.
What, you want me to roll?
Yes. First roll of the evening.
I hate dice. I just hate them.
What did you
get?
5. Hit.
Hett got 4.
Make that a 7.
7 for you.
Don't feel so bad, Ellie. I got
Shayla.
2.
3.
Oh wow.
Oh God.
No Maris. Can't hear you.
12.
Sadiq.
16.
Oh, there we go. Right, before we get started, I better roll some initiatives for these Gnolls. And dog's going nuts. First one is this is going to be an interesting battle. Those initiative rolls. Right, so put everyone here. Right, so to start the combat, we have, yes, it makes it easy for me to see, the Gnoll. The Gnolls go first. So what you guys hear, as you approach the crossroads, you sort of where you are, and right at the start of the crossroads, the trees are there, you can see the statue. And what you hear is the cackling and growls of gnolls around you. And you hear one of the gnolls sort of, it sounds like he's barking orders. You can't really tell too much. It's in a language you don't really understand. But it doesn't sound good. So we have the gnoll. One crashes out from behind a tree right into the path by the statue right in front. Hett, you see him sort of charge out in front there. To your left you see another charge towards you from the tree line, and you see a third coming across to back him up. Next, it is the Gnoll, another Gnoll's turn. Sadiq, you're up after this one. You don't hear it, but you don't see him, but you hear another more movement further out towards you, probably towards your northwest, and you just hear which sounds a lot larger than the Gnolls you've just seen, but you do hear more movement in the northwest. Down to there. Sadiq, you're up.
Where am I on the battle map?
You are right at the back here. Only just on the map.
I'll move over to the left towards those two over there.
Like in a straight line, we want to go diagonal.
Diagonal at them. I've got a 30-foot movement.
Yeah, that'll put you pretty much right into combat with both of those gnolls right there.
Cool. And I'm going to take a swing at one.
Go for your life.
Hett just wants to remind everyone that they have Bliss. I cast it right before we ended last
certainly
round.
do. Those with the white markers do have Bliss. You have a D4 to add to your attacks and saving throws, I believe.
Correct.
15 to hit?
15 does hit.
Oh, are they fiendish or evil?
They would be classed... roll an intelligence check for me. Some creatures you're not... I don't think you've struck gnolls before, so you probably wouldn't know. So just roll a quick intelligence check.
That would be a 13.
A 13? I would say you'd know that they would be classed as an evil entity. So yeah, so you would definitely you'd know that. Well, actually, your sword. This is based on your sword, yes?
Yeah, to see if I have to roll the
sword,
D8.
yeah, the sword would know. straight away. The sword would do that damage based on the character when they hit it. So yeah, definitely.
Alright, so we've got 4 points of heat, 1 point radiant, and 10 points of sludge.
So what's that total? Jesus, that was massive.
Let's see, 10, 14, 15 points of damage.
Wow, nice strike. Hang on, just gotta grab my book. Keep track of these. Right, so as Sadiq charges forward, running into combat with two of the Gnolls, he strikes out with his sword, flaming sword, and does 15 points of damage. So which one, left or right?
The one that's directly in front of me.
Okay, so takes damage there. And yeah, it strikes him down hard. I think the Gnoll was taken back by surprise. Even his comrade lets out a howl and a bit of a cry in that high pitched sound, and is not happy at all. Next in line is the archer. So, both Gnoll archers are going to make a ranged attack. Actually, they're going to make a perception check to see if they realize that the dragon is not real or not. One Gnoll is going to make a ranged attack at you, Alashadris, at the back.
Awesome.
Yeah, so 4 to hit, so that is a 10. I believe that misses.
Yes.
And actually makes it 2 ranged attacks. We can roll that one again. Still misses. So he misses with 2 arrows just come whizzing past your head from your right. You can sort of see where they are. They're in cover. You know where they came from, and you sort of take a quick gander to your right. The other one, believing the dragonling to be real, fires at the dragonling, and would hit that with a 19, I believe. If you're working on, it's an illusion, it goes straight through, and sort of as it fires both shots rapid fire, and they both would hit. And as he fires the arrows, it goes right through the illusion. The illusion shimmers and he's looking at it confused. He doesn't know what the hell's going on. That's the end of their turn. Next up, we have Neymaris.
Alright, I rock up to the one in front of me.
You need to speak up. You're really quiet.
I rock up to the one in front of me.
Directly up the path. Badoosh.
And I say to him, "Good afternoon. How's it going
What happened
today?"
to your accent? Does Neymaris not have an accent anymore?
No! Neymaris left your accent at home.
And you need to speak. Put your microphone by your mouth.
So, how's it going this afternoon?
And the Gnoll sort of looks at you and gets right in your face and just snarls at you. Spittle and hot breath spray your face. And he just stands there, nose to nose.
Alright, then that sounds good. Well, I'm gonna pick up my Helm's Vengeance and I'm gonna...
Roll to attack.
$11.
11 on the Flesh Nora. That misses. As you raise Helm's Vengeance and swing away, the Gnoll is right in your face, sees the attack, brings his shield up, and parries the attack with his shield.
Would Fury left my name at home?
And who is next? Are you going to do anything else?
I'll just jump backwards a step.
We'll take the attack of opportunity.
And I'll just stay right where I am, thanks.
They stay in combat, no problem. Next in line is one of the other Gnolls who's going to... What is he going to do? He is going to... So he is going to charge forward there, and he's going to incite rampage on the Gnoll in front of you, Namaris, who gets to use its reaction to make a melee attack against you, which is a 18 to hit.
I do believe that hit.
And he will then be... What is he going to... He's using his short sword, even though he looks like he's carrying a mace. He's not really. What is that? 1d6. So you take 5 points of slashing damage, which is not halved because you are not raging. And that is the Pack Lord's turn. Next in line...
Do I get a reaction?
No.
Damn it.
Well, no, you actually do. If you've got a reaction, you can take a reaction.
No, the only reactions I've got are opportunity attack.
So you can't.
And that's
So no, you can't use your reaction.
no, I can't.
Next in line, Alessandra, it's your turn. And next up after that, Hett, will be you.
Excellent.
Alessandris, make your move.
I'll go running up to the one next to Sadiq. Well, the one directly in front of Sadiq.
Yep. So
Attack it.
you'd be able to get it. You'd be able to get to that one there. You wouldn't quite make it to the other side.
No, that's good. Alright, rolling for attack. Here we
You
go.
roll your attack, and you get advantage because he's in melee combat with Sadiq, and you get your sneak attack as well.
Nice fella there, aren't you?
Don't tell me. What was your attack?
You really want to know?
Yes.
Okay, so I rolled a 3.
And what was your you're a +5, aren't you? So that's 8. Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
that's not very good. With your first dagger, you rush into combat, and you go to kidney shot this guy as he's sort of looking at Sadiq, ready to attack him, and you catch the edge of his armor and belt, and it just deflects off that. Your second attack, if you wish to take it, or you have a bonus action to do something else.
$13.
13, that also misses. As you roll in with a second dagger, try and much the same thing. You just can't find that chink in the armor, and you're really struggling. Unfortunately, yeah, that's definitely a miss. So Alessandros, that is your turn. Hett, you're up, and Fiala, you're up after that.
Hett takes a look at the area. He moves back 15 feet down the road toward, in the, sort of the way we were coming, to the rear again.
Yep.
Just so he's not too close. And then he aims. Yes, he aims his loot hard at is it Sadiq who's got 2 in front of him?
He does, yes.
Yes. So the one closest to Sadiq, or closest to Hett from Sadiq's position.
Yep.
And
Alright.
he points the loot forward, and he says, "It's gonna be a cold day in hell." And he fires Ray of Frost.
Ray of Frost. Roll damage.
It is 16 to hit,
That hits.
and he takes 2 cold damage.
Two
His
cold.
speed is now reduced. Yeah, not much, but his speed is now reduced by 10 feet at the start of until the start of my next turn.
No problem. So we will add another white marker to him to say that he is now slowed by 10 feet.
Just by 10 feet. And that is it for hit this round.
Fiela, you're up.
All right, I'm going to go directly to the left 30 feet of me so I can kind of hit both those.
Yep, done.
And I'm going to cast my Forked Lightning, second level,
Go for it.
which will be 16.
16 does hit.
So they'll each take one takes 12 and one takes 17.
Oh, wow. So the first one, does that... Which damage did you roll first, the 17 or the 12?
The 12.
Okay, so we'll work it in that order. So as you raise your staff and sort of quietly make a... you say those arcane words and the little storm cloud starts to swirl and brew above your head, and then as you point your staff towards the knoll, that lightning just arcs out of the front of the staff, hits the first knoll, arcs off and hits the second. The first one takes 12 points of lightning damage and drops to one knee and drops his weapon. He is not looking good at all. And the second one, sort of turning as he hears the lightning strike his mate there, and the lightning slams right into his chest. Starts smoking, he screams out in pain, and takes 17 points of lightning damage. He is also not looking too healthy at all with that awesome attack from the druid. That's a cool spell. I like that one. Next, do you bonus action if you want to bonus action?
I'm just gonna.
And I hold them. So next in line we have, as you guys are sort of engaging in battle on this light, you cast this lightning spell, Fiala. Can I get everyone just to roll a quick perception check for me?
I got 10.
10.
I just see the Gnoll in front of me.
You need to sort something out with your dice rolling, man. That's terrible.
17.
17. What'd you get, Namash?
10.
10. And hit.
Hett rolled a natural 20 for 23.
Ooh. So Hett and Fiala. You guys will hear it and probably see it first, but as you sort of in the midst of battle, you hear the cracking of tree branches and you hear a tree, or everyone would then hear the trees crack and fall as this lot of trees uproots and just crashes to the ground, and in its place you see a giant plant-like creature emerge from the ground, striking this gnoll as it comes up and killing it instantly.
Oh, it's friendly.
Almost like it just
Right.
you saw the roots reach up from under the ground and grab it and just absolutely crush it to death. The gnoll cries out in pain. You hear other gnolls cry out as one of their comrades has been felled, And yeah, you see this giant creature before you. And it is now going to roll its initiative. Which is... Ooh, okay, so that's interesting. That many hit points. Right, so... that was pretty much its turn over. Back to the top of the initiative order, we have the Flesh Gnora's turn. So Sadiq, the one that you initially attacked is going to attack you back with, what is he going to use? He is going to use, he makes 3 attacks, 1 with its bite and 2 with its short sword. So first attack, which is bite attack, rolls an 11 to hit. I don't believe that hits. The 2 short sword attacks both miss as well with a 7 and a 9. So he sort of got up from one knee after taking that massive lightning damage and just doesn't have the energy. Tries to sort of bite forward, misjudges the distance between you, and then picks up his sword, and you can see he just does not have the energy to strike, and it just glances off your armor. The other one is going to make attacks against Alessandros, who tried to stab him. First is bite attack, which I believe will hit with a 21. And the 2 short sword attacks, one will hit with a 22, and the other will miss with an 8. So we need to roll a d4 and a d6. Alessandros, you will take 11 points of piercing and slashing damage. As the Gnoll reaches down, he's quite a bit bigger than you, and bites down into your shoulder with his first attack, pulls back and hacks back and forth with his short sword, and sustaining some minor damage, but nothing too major there. Next up, they decide to stay where they are. They're not going to move. Actually, let's see that Gnoll there. No, he's going to flee. The Gnoll that attacked you, Sadiq, he is assessing his own injuries and looking at the situation. Has noticed the big plant dude that's just killed one of his friends, and he's going to turn and flee. You'll get an opportunity attack.
Alright.
As he turns and flees.
That would be a 20.
That does hit. Dirty 20 or natural?
Dirty.
Dirty. So that definitely hits.
He just took another 17 points of damage.
Whew. And as Sadiq, the Gnoll turns and goes to flee, takes half a step away from you, and you instantly see what he's about to do. You again raise your sword, slash right across his lower back and down to his legs, opening up a massive wound across his back and down over his glutes and across the top of his legs, and he just drops and dies in front of you. The other one is going to stay where he is for now. And then we have Neymaris. You're going to suffer the same fate. 3 attacks. First is a bite attack, which is a natural 20. The short sword attacks both hit, one with a 22, one with a 19, I believe. So, crap, dropping dice. So you will take 12, 18, 25 points of slashing and piercing damage.
Right.
I believe, which is full damage because you're still not raging. That is their turn. Now the Fang's turn. Oh, what is he going to do? He's going to rock into... He's going to come right up behind the plant dude and he's going to make an attack against the plant guy. He will make his 3 attacks. And they all hit. He will do 13 points of piercing damage, and so a total of 24 points. There's 11 points of poison damage as well. That creature, so it's a total of 23 points of damage. I saw that in the chat. So yeah, the Gnoll Fang comes in and bites down at this plant creature and sinks its venomous fangs into the creature, dealing some pretty nasty damage, as well as slashing with both claws. Next in line is Sadiq.
Taking a swing at the other guy.
The other guy. Go for it. Roll to hit.
For some reason, I keep on rolling 15.
Well, that's good. 15 hits. Roll your damage.
20 damage.
20 damage. Again, you raise your sword, and your flaming sword of I can't remember what we named your sword.
Heavenly Executioner.
That's right. Heavenly Executioner is raised high, comes slamming down onto the shoulder and neck of the Gnoll in front of you. Burst of fire damage, and that secondary blast of radiant damage sends the Gnoll backwards onto his back and dead. They are both dead. You now have a bonus action plus movement.
I'm going to move over to the one near Maris.
Move in. Yep, you can rock into combat there next to Namaris. And I believe that'll give you advantage being within 5 feet of you, Namaris.
Yep.
So you now have advantage on your melee attacks against this creature.
Hey, maybe I'll roll higher than a 15.
So you have a bonus action.
I'm just going to leave that alone.
Leave that alone? No worries. So next in line is the Gnoll Hunters. Gnoll Hunters, seeing the one closest to you here, sees you cast your spell and decides to fire his 2 longbow shots at you.
Excellent. He doesn't notice. He saw the big tree and went, "What the hell is this?"
Pretty much. So you, my friend, one should hit you with a 22, and the other hits with a 19, I believe. So I think both hit.
Also a hit.
So longbow is a D8. So you take a total of 15 points of piercing damage. Both high rolls there. Both arrows find their mark. He lines you up in quick succession. So both arrows sort of hit. One hits you in the side just below your armor mark, and the other one hits you in the thigh, just outside of where your armor is, and they hit quite deep. So it's quite painful. Right, slam into your side.
Oy, that hurts a little.
And the other hunter, he is also going to run in fear. So he turns and runs his full 30 feet in the opposite direction. He is out of there. He does not want to borrow that. So next, Namaris, you're up.
I'm going ouch just a little bit. And I hit that one in front of me with 18, 20.
I have to turn you up. You're talking way too quietly.
I'm talking right into my microphone. With 23 points to hit.
That does hit.
Finally. Wow. And he takes a whole 7 damage.
7 damage. So
Whole 7 damage.
whole
But man, I
7
put
damage.
my arse.
um,
I'm hurt.
so Damaris raises her broadsword and slams down into the gnoll, and yeah, it does a reasonable amount of damage. Nothing spectacular, but you know you've definitely hurt him. He calls out in pain.
Serves you right, you prick. You hurt me.
And he just grins, and you see that drool and the hot breath because you're so close to him. Sadiq, you hear all this as well. Sort of the breath's pretty rank. They've been eating dead flesh and all sorts of stuff, so it's pretty grotty. Next in line is the big plant fella. So he's going to turn, because the last person that attacked him is the Fanglord, and he is going to attack. AC, right? It's going to attack, multi-attack, 2 slam attacks. And what are we looking at there? Both hit, one with a 26, one with a 19. We need to make a roll to... No, he fails the roll. He takes 2d8. That's 10... 18, wow, 18, 24, 30 points of bludgeoning damage and is grappled. So let's have a look, Mr. Gnoll Fang here. Takes 30 points of bludgeoning damage. You hear this Gnoll like absolutely scream out in absolute agony, and as Namaris and Sadiq, you'd probably see this better than anyone, as the mound raises its big branchy sort of arm and slams down onto this gnoll, and then you watch the roots and that sort of again come out from the creature's body and just engulf this gnoll. He is now grappled. I have a grappled marker. You are now grappled, Mr. Gnoll. Next is the Pack Lord, but he's dead, so we'll remove him. Alessandros, you're up next. And Hett, you're up after that.
Excellent.
Okay, moving up to the one that's near Sadiq and Mara.
You'd go around the trees. You'd know you wouldn't want to go anywhere near the giant tree beast, so we'll put you in there, which will put you in flanking position. You have advantage anyway because of your own abilities, so you don't get double advantage with Namaris's abilities. So advantage on the attack, sneak attack as well.
Alright, here we go. I give up. Oh my god.
Don't forget to add your modifier as well.
I rolled a 4.
Oh my god, man.
I give up.
Seriously.
You need to take those boots off.
You got blessed.
Don't give up.
You've got a D4 as well.
Yeah, don't forget bless.
So add your D4.
No, 4.
And you're at advantage.
Plus 4.
5.
So that's what? 8 plus 5 is 13. That hits. Only just, but it hits.
Oh my god.
So roll your damage and your sneak attack damage on that first attack.
You got this.
You can do it.
That's a 2, and the sneak attack was 9.
Nice.
Mars
You got
rolls
11
the
points.
FaceTime
11
smell.
points of damage. So that will. So that's your first attack. You slam that dagger in, just finding that kink in the armor into his kidneys to come up behind, and he sort of reaches back in pain. Second attack.
18.
That definitely hits.
Five.
5 points of damage again, finding that soft point on the other kidneys. It's basically both kidneys. Come in one side, stab him in that just under his armor, and you find the purchase on the second attack as well, finding that crease in the armor, and you're twisting the daggers a little bit while you're there, just for good measure. That is your turn, Mr. Hett. You're next, and Fiala, you're up after that.
He takes in the scene around him. He's looking at Nemaris. Is she looking fairly damaged?
She has taken a substantial amount of damage, yes.
He was looking to do something else and then turns his loot. And he looks at Nemaris and he says, Nemaris! And he strums the lute and says, Heaven can wait! Heaven can wait! And he casts Healing Word at second level.
Roll
You get
your heal.
Oh, good, nice. I rolled two fours, and that's 8
Nice.
plus 2. So that's 10 healing as my bonus action to Nemaris.
Yeah, as you hear this from behind you, Nemaris, you hear Hett's loot and his words, and you feel the warmth fill your body. Take 10 points of healing. Bonus action and action.
My action, I'll go back to a cantrip, which I was going to cast anyway. And I'll go with the same Ray of Frost as I say, hey, no, to the one, actually, which is the best one to hit? Was the one that shot me still alive?
The one that shot you is still alive. He is about 60 feet from your position in the trees.
Yes, 60 feet is good. I say, hey, no, you're trapped under ice, and I do Ray of Frost again.
Ray of Frost, roll to hit.
Oh dear, I think I missed with a 6.
I think you did miss with a 6. He's also in what I would consider probably quarter or half cover, so he's got a higher AC. But you definitely missed.
The frostbite goes a little wide.
Yes, as you cast your Ray of Frost, it sort of catches the tree and turns this nice beautiful pine tree that almost looks like Christmas. Gives it a nice coating of snow on the tree there. Fiala, you're up. Do you want to move, Hett? Do you want to stay where you are?
Hett will stay where he is, thank you.
No worries. Hett, Fiala, you're up next.
I'm gonna walk over so that I can touch Hett. Sorry. You right up next to Hett, kind of diagonal. And
Can't quite
I'm
get
gonna
there. You're about 10 foot short.
Am I?
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm gonna.
Well, you're about 5 feet short.
Yeah, I wanted to do the gift of the Shari, but can I? Yeah, it's 5.
You've got to be within melee range. So you just couldn't quite get there. You were just out of range.
I'm gonna cast Healing Word on Namara since she's in the thick of it.
No problem.
That is 11 for healing.
So once again, Neymaris, you hear Fiala from behind you now, muttering some arcane words, and you once again feel that warm sensation, and you receive 11 points of healing. Bonus action, Fiala.
It's a 90-foot range. Am I able to cast Entangle on the gnoll in front of the tree, but not hit the tree?
Is it a cantrip?
No. Never mind. I can't do anything.
Yeah. So back to the top of the order, the Felishnora's turn. So we've only got one left of them. So he is going to. He's got such a choice to attack. I think he's going to turn and attack Usadek, seeing the flaming sword, sort of a pretty bright light. Just think, ooh, going to attack that. So 3 attacks on you. First with his bite, which I believe hits with a 23.
Yep.
The second 2 attacks, one is a 14 and one is a 17.
That's another hit as well.
So so we got that and that. So that is 9 points of piercing and slashing damage to you, and this Gnoll, looking at his situation, is going, yeah, nah, I'm out of here. Invokes Sudden Rush, which doubles his movement speeds and does not provoke opportunity attacks. He is bolting. He's gone off the board. He just turned, bolted, and sprinted away. Or basically dropped down almost like dog-like, on all fours, and just took off. So, that is him gone. The Fang's turn is next. He's solely focused on this this giant plant dude that just killed his pack lord. So once again, he's going to make 3 attacks. First off, the bite attack, which is a miss. 2 claw attacks, both hit. Does another 15 points of slashing damage to the plant. Sadiq, you are up next. It's going to stay in battle. It's definitely going to stay there. So Sadiq, you're next. And the Gnoll Hunter's up after that. So yeah, so you have in front of you, to your right there, you have the giant plant creature. You have the Gnoll Fang. You probably can't see either of the hunters, but you know there are possibly at least another 2 or 3 Gnolls in the area.
I'm going to pull out my dagger and throw it at the blade, the one that's attacking the tree.
Okay. So you get advantage because it is grappled. It ain't going anywhere. So roll with advantage on the dagger throw.
That's good because the first one I rolled a 3. That would be 14.
14. That just hits.
And that's 6 points of damage,
6
and the
points
dagger
of-
returns.
No problem. 6 points of damage. You throw the dagger at the Gnoll Fang, and it strikes him right in the armpit. Squeals out in pain. He's trying to sort of writhe and move. At the end of his turn, actually, I should have rolled. Nope, he failed the strength check to break the grapple. So now you have movement and a bonus action.
I'm just going to yell out to everyone saying, I say we back up.
Okay, so you yell out as your free action, telling everyone to retreat. Next is the Gnoll Hunter's turn. That dude has disappeared. This one's going to stand and fight. He is going to fire at Hett again. 2 shots with his longbow. One hits with a 22, the other misses. And Hett, you take 7 points of piercing damage from that same side. He's got his eye and he hits you right in the side of the ribs again. Almost in the same place as he did before. And Namaris, he's gonna stay. Is he gonna stay there? He's gonna stay there. Namaris, your turn, and the plant creature up after you.
I turn around and look at Hett and run over to him, taking out a potion of healing.
You run all the way back there. You take out a potion of healing. That will probably cost you, I would say, your bonus action to take it out in the travel.
And my action is to give it to Hett and tell him to take it.
You can do that. I'll allow it. So that would be your turn. Hett, you are given a healing potion from Namaris. Oh,
Sweet, thanks,
there he is.
Namaris.
I thought, shit, have we lost him? But no, he's there.
No, I had mute on.
So yes, next is that going to be? That's pretty much your whole turn, there, Morris. The plant creature is going to re-attack. 2 attacks on the fang, and both do hit quite easily. Oh, wow. So yeah, +7. They both hit. And does 9, 13, 23, 26 points of bludgeoning damage. You watch again as this giant creature's arm comes up and slams down on the Gnoll and literally just squishes him into the ground. It's just Gnoll guts and this pile of goop left as the fang is just absolutely pummeled into the earth.
DM, sorry, I have to make a concentration check for that hit too.
Yes, you do. Sorry. What was that for? Oh, for bless. Yes.
For bless. I failed.
You failed, so
Everyone
everyone
loses
loses
bless.
bless. So you lose your D4s, people.
Don't forget to take your potion.
I can't take my potion until my turn, but thank you.
Yeah.
Damn it.
He's handed it to you, but yeah, you can't take it.
I'm just clutching these arrows in my side. I've placed my loot on the ground at this point.
So where are we? That was just Elishandros. You're up after the, and as the movement, this thing turns and heads towards you guys. Elishandros, you're up, and Hett, you're after that.
I don't want to. Alright, move up behind it.
Elishandros coming into a flanking position, which again gives you advantage on your roll with your first attack, and will also give you sneak attack because I would say it's not looking at you. It has no reason to think you. Nope, doesn't see you. You're fine. Advantage and sneak attack.
18.
18. I have to check. 18 does hit.
Yay!
Roll damage.
6 with the dagger.
And your sneak attack.
5 with sneak.
11 total damage. So as Elishandros quietly sneaks up behind this big beastie, Sadiq, you see it as well, sort of comes in behind and slashes across the back of it, and you watch as it opens up a small wound, nothing too superficial, but you see a little bit of dark green sort of ichor ooze from the wound. The creature doesn't seem to be too concerned by it. Bonus action, Elishandros, so second attack.
Is 18 again.
18, that does hit.
With 6 points of damage.
Another 6 points of damage. Both attacks opening up small wounds on this creature, and it doesn't seem too phased by you. It doesn't really seem to have noticed you as you are attacking it from its behind. You're mean, Yanti. So next in the order, that is your turn. Hett, you're up, and Fiala, you're up after that.
Hett is clutching the arrows in his side. His loot is on the ground and he sees the big tree thing looming towards him. He downs the potion. I assume, is that an action or a bonus action, DM?
All that is a bonus action.
He downs the potion as quick as he can. That's 5, 6, that's 7 points of healing for anyone who's keeping track. And then he remembers Sadiq had called out to retreat, and so he moves, if he can move away, he's not base to base, he takes it
Yep, no, you're fine, you can move away.
towards Sadiq's position as far as he can go.
So I'd say by this
And he
time
cries
that
out.
illusion is gone.
And Hett cries out, I think Sadiq said retreat. I think it's a good idea.
Right. Next up is Fiela.
Oh, I don't want to hit it. I'm gonna cast second level healing word on Hett.
No problem. So that'll only leave you. Is that a bonus action or an action to cast?
It's a bonus action.
Bonus action. Yeah. So that'll leave you a cantrip to cast as your action.
And that's 8 healing for Hett. And
Thank you very much.
I'm gonna take a shot in the dark, and I'm gonna do Druidcraft, and I'm gonna make a little sprout near the tree and say, "Hey, buddy, you don't need to hurt."
You gonna try and talk to it?
Yeah, I'm gonna
Oh
try.
shit, she's dead.
Interesting.
I'm probably gonna die.
So you druidcraft a small. What are you druidcrafting specifically?
Like a little oak tree sprout.
Okay. Roll a persuasion check with disadvantage. Just to see what happens here.
Woo! It's an 18 with disadvantage because the other one was
Wow.
20.
The mound sort of it. You see you can't really see it. So I mean, it looks like it's got eyes and stuff. It's all just branches and vines. Got mushrooms growing on its head. You can sort of see the.
Somebody say mushroom.
You can sort
Christ's
of
sake.
you can sort of see the open maw where normal things would have teeth. It's all again. It's all plant. The whole thing is just made up 100% of plant matter. It sort of looks at you as you druidcraft this little oak sprout. It looks down at it, sort of looks up at you, looks down at it, looks up at you, and doesn't seem fazed by it. You don't get any sense that it's understood what you were trying to get
Well, at least I'm a distraction. Everybody else run.
at. So next in line, after is that your whole turn? You've still got an action which you can use.
Oh, I can move.
Then you can
I
move
can
still,
move.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna follow Hett as far as I can.
Okay. You can get Paradym next to Hett on the other side there. So we're back to
Good
the top.
idea. Us healers should stick together.
Back at the top of the round now. We're back to Sadiq since most of the other Gnolls are dead.
I'm gonna follow the path up towards the statue and just run that direction.
So looking at statue, the statue's pointing to your west, which is to the right, and that's the path to our east. So you know that.
Going that way.
You're going that way. So you've got one more, which will be 30 to there. The next in line is the Gnoll Hunters, which we still have one in play. He sort of sees what's going on. He's sort of thinking, holy shit, what am I going to do? And he will actually, he's going to attack. He's going to attack the plant because that's the closest thing to him. Natural 20 and a 22. So we're going to do there. 22 points of damage on the plant as you guys sort of looking back in his direction. You see the Gnoll step out from the tree and fire two arrows in quick succession, which slam into the back of this plant thing, and the plant sort of stops and sort of half-by turns, looking at the Gnoll, and then turns back looking at Namaris, who's actually closest to it right now, and doesn't really, sort of looks a little confused. And that Gnoll Hunter is going to disappear, and he's going to run away and disappear off the field of battle. Namaris, it is your turn.
Oh, do I see those mushrooms?
You do. Roll a wisdom save, please.
6.
You failed. Those mushrooms look amazing. They're bigger than any other mushroom you've ever seen before.
Can I run up and grab one and then run off?
You can attempt to.
I'm going to attempt to run up and pick a mushroom.
So you're going to run up into melee combat with it. You're going to make a... Well, you're not really being subtle about it, eh? So it's not sleight of hand. Make a dexterity save. And I'll roll a strength check.
8.
Yeah, that's a failure. As you get into the right up close to the mound there, you sort of reach up and go to grab one of the mushrooms off his head, and you grab it. It's not moving. It's pretty well on there, and as you grab it and try to pull it out, the creature roars right in your face, and you get bits of plant, like stagnant plant matter and water sort of rushing out at you. It's not very nice smelling. I need you to roll another dex save for me, please.
21.
As you do this, you feel the roots from the plant, the root and vine sort of move out from its body, and it starts to engulf you, and you sort of realize exactly what's going on, and you sort of just manage to avoid being grabbed by this thing as we're trying to steal his mushroom, basically his mushroom head, his eyes, for want of a better term. Yeah, it was pretty nuts. So I'd say that's going to be pretty much your whole turn. You could try and run, but you'd get an attack of opportunity against you. So it's up to you whether you stay or... No, you got half your movement left, so...
I kind of want to curl up in a ball and hope that he doesn't.
So you're not going to do anything?
Nope, I'm going to be as still as I can.
Okay, the creature looking at you now with some pretty intent, because you heard him. You tried to steal his eyes, basically. Yeah. So first, gonna make 2 slam attacks against you. 23 and a 15.
They both hit.
Both hit. Make a dex save throw again.
Nat 20, so
20.
dirty 22.
So you avoid the grapple, but you do take 9, 13, 20, 28 points of bludgeoning damage.
I do believe that. I just go.
As the mound tries to sort of grab you, and it misses the grab, and it just brings both of its arms up and slams down on both your shoulders, knocking Neymaris unconscious at the base of its feet there.
What time of day is it?
By now, you guys sort of hit here, I believe, around lunchtime-ish. So by now, in this part of the combat, you've probably been fighting now for a good hour, probably about an hour, so sort of early afternoon.
Oh.
So, Alessandros, you're up next. And Hett, you're up after that.
I'm running towards Sadiq.
You're going to leave Neymaris there? Nice.
Oh no!
Okay. I only have daggers which do maximum.
You're in melee
plus
combat.
6.
If you leave melee combat, you can bonus action disengage. Otherwise, you will take an attack of opportunity.
Disengage.
Disengage back to Sadiq.
Yep.
Do that. Anything else you want to do?
No, not much I can do.
So Hett, you're next now, and Fiala, you're up after that.
So Hett sees Neymaris hit the ground and he's looking at Sadiq, he's looking at Neymaris, but it's a split decision. He pulls the loot forward and he says, This is the countdown to extinction. And he fires fairy fire
Fairy
at the
fire.
tree. However, he turns up need more gain at the same time,
Nice.
using a bardic slot, and you make a save for fairy fire, a dex save, but you make it a disadvantage because of need more gain.
Rolled a natural 14 on, which is a -1, so 13 was the roll. It's a -1 on his dex. So.
Oh, he just missed. I had a 14.
Oh,
So
he
he's
fails.
now lit up in a bright white light, and everyone gets advantages on attacks on him.
Certainly do. So we will chuck little marker there. He is now under fairy fire, so yeah, all attacks now have advantage against the creature. Anything
And
else you
Hett
want
will
to do?
move north. Yeah, Hett will move north towards the statue, but still keeping distance. Maybe behind that tree that's sort of towards the statue, if I can make it.
Get into there.
Sweet, and Hett just yells, "Everyone, attack the thing!"
So Fiela, you are next. Sadiq, you're up after that.
The thing being a comic book reference for those of you who didn't get it.
Yes. The thing. The swamp.
Swamp thing.
All right, I'm gonna turn around and move about 15 feet closer to the tree.
Yep. Done.
And I'm gonna say, "I'm so sorry," and I'm gonna cast Flaming Sphere right above it so I don't hit Namara.
So what's the radius on Flaming Sphere?
The radius is a 5-foot sphere, so anything
alright.
within 5 feet of the sphere.
That's easy
And it's a
enough.
dex save.
So pretty much you've got to cast it right on it because it takes up 10 feet. So you've got to cast it
Yeah.
right on it, and it failed the dex save. It's a big creature. It
That's,
doesn't move very quickly. So roll damage.
7.
7
unfortunately.
points of flaming damage, but the spear remains though, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And so that's 7 points of fire damage. As the flaming sphere lights up, you notice that the fire doesn't seem to do as much damage as you'd hoped. It sort of hits it, definitely takes the damage, but it didn't seem to, even though this creature is plant material, it just didn't seem to do as much damage as you thought it might have.
Oh.
So that was your action, I believe. You have a
Yeah.
bonus action and the rest of your movement, if you wish.
I'd like to do the bonus action healing word on Namaris.
You can only cast a cantrip because what level
Oh,
was the
that's
first spell?
right.
Yeah, you can only cast a cantrip as a second spell.
So I can't do anything from where I'm at, so
Okay.
I'm gonna wait.
No problem. So back to the top of the round with Sadiq.
I'm gonna turn around and attack the stupid thing.
It's just going to charge in behind it.
Yeah.
I will give you. You got advantage because of the fairy fire. I was just going to give you advantage for the flank, but you have fairy fire, so it's advantage anyway.
DM checking messages.
Um, 16.
Where are we? 16. That does hit.
Am I rolling the radiant or not?
No, you would not be rolling radiant on this creature. Yeah.
That's 70 points of damage.
How much? Sorry.
17.
17 points. What? How much of that was fire damage?
3.
3 points of fire damage. So 17 total. Again, that fire damage just doesn't seem to do as much as you'd hope, but the slashing damage definitely takes a toll and opens up a large wound across the creature's back. Again, that green, sort of musty, swampy smelling goop starts oozing from the wound. And next up would be Neymaris, but you're unconscious.
Yeah, I rolled
Make a
a
death save,
on a
please.
death save.
Natural 1.
Hmm.
Holy shit, that's 2 fails.
That's 2. Uh-oh.
That is 2 fails on the death save. Next up would be the plant creature, who is going to turn and attack Sadiq, who has just damaged him. So you're lucky, Neymaris. So Sadiq, you will be taking a double attack. You'll also have to make a dex save throw for me as well. 1 is a miss, the other will be an 18 to hit.
That's a hit.
So 1 hits. So you make your dex save for me, please.
Yay! 11.
You fail the dex save. You are now grappled by the creature. And you also take 14 points of bludgeoning damage as the creature slams down with 1. It just misses you, sort of dodge to one side, and you get caught with the second attack. And as the second attack hits you, the roots and vines from its arm move out and just engulf you and pull you into its body. You are now grappled. Just to get it right in my own head exactly what grappled entails. Your speed becomes 0. You can't benefit from any bonus speed. Condition needs the grapplers incapacitated. Okay, so there's no advantages or disadvantages. That's all I needed to see. So, next in the order would be Alessandros. And hit your
Alright. Moving back in for attack.
As you come in, you see that Sadiq is grappled by this creature. Coming to aid. You have advantage on because of fairy fire, so you'll get your sneak attack damage as well because you got comrades within 5 feet.
Does it work because I'm in 5 feet? Do you get like?
No, he already gets the advantage because Sadiq's there. Well, the advantage is because of fairy fire, and he gets the sneak attack because of Sadiq. So,
27.
how much?
27.
27 to hit. Holy crap! Yes, that hits. Roll damage.
Six with the dagger.
And your sneak attack.
18.
18 total or 18 as well?
18 with the sneak.
Okay, so 18 total. That brings us down to that much. As your first dagger slashes across the belly of the beast, he rolls and maintains his grapple on Sadiq as it takes damage across that vine that's holding him. Roll your bonus action.
Roll a 3 plus 5. That's 8. So
yeah, no, that misses. Your second attack goes wide, sort of parries off with a branch, and that is your turn over. Hett, that is now your turn. And Fiona, you're up after that.
Hett runs to Neymaris' corpse, unconscious body. I believe I can make it. I counted on the map. I think I can get there.
You can get there. Her unconscious
He touches
body.
her. He touches her unconscious body with a lute, and he says, Nemaris, you are immortal! You have inside you blood of kings! And because, as his bonus action, he activates once again the gain on the flute,
No
and
problem.
he healing, and he cure wounds her because he has to touch her for it, using the need more gain
No
ability.
problem.
Oh, I only rolled an extra one. That sucks. So 8, 9, 11 points of healing for Nemaris.
So, Nemaris, you come to consciousness with the sort of instant breath in. So, you wake up and you're lying at the feet of this mound of branches and vines, and you're staring right up at his butt. But
Awesome.
you're conscious. The life has come back to your body, but you are prone. Anything else here?
Hit as his free action says, "Thank you, Steel Lady," and he's sweating profusely from using a lot of high-end magic.
Yeah, it's a pretty good battle. We're doing well. Fiela, you're up, and Sadiq, you're up after that.
I also run right up to Nemaris, and I'm going to use my cantrip Gift of the Ashari.
No problems.
Only 6, but still some.
There's still something. 6 points of healing to Nemaris as you reach down, and
Thank you.
the gift of the druids, the Ashari druids, flows through you and into Nemaris.
And I'm going to try and aim a healing word toward
To who, sorry?
Sadiq,
Sadiq?
if I can.
Yeah, I'd say you could from there. You know where he is. I don't think you have to have line of sight for that particular spell.
And that's going to be 8.
And Sadiq, you also feel the warm healing words of Fiala from the other side of the mound, and you receive 8 HP.
Which spell was she using?
Healing word, I think. Was that a...
It does say a creature you can see.
Oh, does say a creature you can see? Yeah, I'd say with the size of this creature, you can't really see Sadiq from where you are.
All right,
So,
then.
yeah. You'd have...
Apologies.
You've got movement left. You've probably got 10 feet. So if you move 10 feet to the right,
Then you hit.
I would give you line of sight. So you'd be able to,
Yeah, we'll do that.
you'd be able to move in. You weren't in combat with it, so you're not going to get an opportunity attack. So you'd still take the heal, the 8 points.
Thank you, DM.
Well, she'd know that she'd need line of sight. So as a spellcaster, you generally know what your spells require to work. So that would be your turn, Fiala. Sadiq is your turn next, and Nemaris is up after that.
Whose turn is it?
Yours.
I'm going to take a swing at the dude that's holding me.
Yep, you have advantage. You still have advantage because of the fairy fire. Still lit up like a Christmas tree.
15 to hit.
That does hit.
So 8 points with the sword and 3 points of the fire.
Again, the fire damage just doesn't seem to be doing a whole lot, but it is taking. You can see it sort of start to burn, and then it sort of fizzles out. You are no longer grappled as well. With that strike, you were able to cut yourself free.
Awesome.
Get this damn ring off. So you were able to cut yourself free from the grapple, and you make a no, don't make a dex save. I was gonna make a dex save for me just quickly.
Natural 20.
Natural 20. As you were grappled, he sort of lifted you off the ground somewhat, and as you broke the grapple, you dropped to the ground. 3-point landing, sword in hand, ready to attack. Nemaris, you're up.
Am I allowed to use my bonus action to stand up?
You use half your movement to stand up.
I can use half my movement to stand up.
You stand up.
I shake my head and I'm like looking at this thing going, what the actual? Dust myself off and I pick up my sword and I attack it.
Roll to hit.
Bloody hell. That's going in a dice jail.
Advantage.
What was the roll?
2.
A 2. So,
Yay! I get a 17.
yeah, you got advantage, so you were lucky. So 17 to hit does hit.
Well, 17 plus 5, so dirty 22.
That hits. Roll damage.
Wow. I just give him a little prod with my sword. It's 3.
3
4.
points of damage. That's right, because you're not raging, are you? So don't add that
Nope.
rage bonus. So yeah, Namaris sort of gets up. She's still a bit wobbly on her feet, and yeah, just didn't put quite as much effort behind that attack as she normally would.
Sorry. 7.
Ow.
Sorry, 6, because it's my thingy adds plus 3, so
What
it's
does?
3 and 4 and 3 is my damage.
Jeez, you got to remember your stats.
Thought it was a bit low.
Right, so 7 points of damage. But again, Namaris is sneezing all over the place, and from getting up, and the pollen in the air from this bush is just getting up her nose, and she's sneezing and just doesn't strike as hard as she normally would. It is now the mound's turn. The mountain of goop and vines. It's spoiled for attacks. So it's going to make 2 slam attacks, one against Sadiq and one against Alessandros. One is a natural 20, sorry Sadiq, and the other is a 16, Alessandros.
That's it.
Both make dex saves, please. Sadiq, you take 14 points of bludgeoning damage. And Alessandros, you take 9 points of bludgeoning damage. And what was your dex saves?
Another natural 20.
On the dex save? Nice. So you avoid being grappled. You still take the
I'll take
damage.
the damage.
Alessandros?
14.
And Alessandros is now grappled. Gets picked up by the beast.
What was my damage as well?
9. So Alessandros, Sadiq, you now see the vines engulf Alessandros and pick her up off the ground, drawing her back into the beast's body. Alessandros, it is now your turn. You still have the attack with advantage. And you get sneak attack because everybody's just within melee combat just about. So
12.
12 misses, unfortunately. So as the beast picks you up and draws you in, you panic and you're just slashing wildly at branches and vines, and you just can't find purchase with your main attack. Offhand attack.
21.
That does hit. Roll damage.
4.
4 points of damage. As Alessandro jabs in the second dagger, does not break the grapple, however, is being drawn into the creature towards the creature's body. The creature's looking very slow and sluggish. You can smell that swampy smell from the dark green goop that is pouring from the wounds. Hett, it is your turn, and Fiala, you're up after that.
Hett
Creature's not
lifts his
looking
loot up.
nice.
Hett lifts his loot up to his mouth and uses the sound hole like an echo. He sort of, I don't know, something to speak into.
Yep.
And he uses dissonant whispers and he says, "Swamp thing, I think I hate you, baby. But I want to know for sure. And you have to make a wisdom save."
Wisdom save. He rolled a natural 10. That's it, 10.
So he failed. He takes 3d6 psychic damage.
Ooh, 3d6.
Oh,
roll
it's
it.
good. 14 psychic damage.
And as Hett's whispers echo out through in the sort of foresty in the area that you're in, the creature makes an amazingly loud, sort of creaky, almost like wood snapping sound. Hett, describe the demise of this plant creature.
Yay!
As Hett finishes the whisper into the loot, he turns the loot over and the loot just blasts magic energy through him and he strips the bark of it piece by piece like an onion. As it strips down, bits and pieces fall, the mushrooms from its head drop to the deck. I said that deliberately, Nemaris just, gonna pick them up, I'm sure. Yes, and it just crumbles away to a pile of goo and leaves and bark.
Yes, as the creature, the bark strips off, and it's almost like the creature's got hit by a blight spell as well. Just that the bark starts to wither and go black, and as it sort of fades and drops, bits and pieces drop off it. Alessandros, make a quick dex save for me as you get dropped as well. And the creature sort of oozes and eventually over a period of the next sort of 4 or 5 minutes, the whole thing sort of just dissipates and returns back to the earth, almost like the earth has consumed what once was there. And after 10 or 15 minutes, the creature is no longer visible. What was your dex save?
16.
16. Yeah, you managed to again find footing as you got dropped from the creature. It drops you on the floor and sort of get your footing, and you're standing there going, "Whoa, what the hell?" And that is initiative over. That is the end of the combat. Well done, guys.
Ooh,
I don't know. I nearly died.
I don't know, I am shaking.
Holy crap. What was that bloody thing?
That was a shambling mound. For those that don't know what it was.
I don't know what that was, but there was a lot of grass and leaves attacking us.
In chat, guys. In chat.
In chat, Trashy's just put a link to the creature, so if you want to check it out, that is a shambling mound.
I thought it was an awakened tree at the beginning.
So, you guys, the combat is now over. The tree beast has returned to the earth. You've got there's a few bodies of gnolls scattered around. The rest of the gnolls seems to have run away and retreated from the combat, not being able to handle this giant creature. You guys, what do you want to do?
Set up the camp, have a bit of a rest, I think. How
Loot.
long?
Loot first, and
Yeah.
then I'm going to say to Hett, how far away are we from your village?
Well, I can tell you with exact certainty that we're about
2 hours. You're about 2
2
hours
hours.
from Anis.
Yeah, I think it's about 2 hours. Just if we follow the path to the right there, shouldn't be too bad.
Maybe we carry on, then it's only 2 hours.
If anyone would like to make an intelligence check to see if they do know what that creature was, you're more than welcome. Hett, you roll with advantage because you're from this area.
7.
So Namaris,
Bloody
you've
good-looking
never
mushroom.
you've never seen it before. It's something brand new to you, and it was quite like wow, it was massive.
About 11. It's something chubby.
You've probably, Alessandros, you've probably seen something similar, but not one that size, and you're not 100% sure what exactly what it is. You just know it's made up of plant life or plant matter.
And I got a 12.
You've heard about them, probably from your dad and his travels. You can't exactly remember exactly what they were called, but you know that they're not generally one to attack without provocation, and the fact that all the noise and that was going on at this particular point, the battle that was ensuing probably just disturbed it, and when it arose and killed the gnoll and was attacked, that's why it probably fought back.
And the Morris, leave the mushroom alone.
Anyone else wanted to roll an intelligence check?
I think I've got enough mushrooms now.
I got it. I got an 18.
An 18. Fiona, because you are who you are and being trained in the ways of the druid, you after seeing it return back to the earth, You know what it is. You've heard of the shambling mounds before. You've not necessarily seen one, but you've been told about it. Begilia has definitely told you about these creatures, and that they are part of the earth and the forest, and they are generally pretty neutral creatures. But they will attack they will defend themselves if they're attacked, and they will attack if their territory's been encroached on as well. So you sort of think we were probably either in its territory or it was just defending itself because it was attacked by the Gnolls. And it generally doesn't distinguish between allies and foes. So as much as it pains you to have been involved in attacking it, you know that you probably had no choice.
Well, guys, I can tell you that's called a swamp thing. And they don't like people at all. They're vicious, hungry beasts.
Oh, Hett.
No shit.
Right,
But
so
I think you can make it good.
cut
What's
out
that?
your hit.
I'm just saying, I think Nemaris my salad from it.
Right, who is heading the loot inspection from the Gnoll bodies?
I'll do it.
I'll assist.
So roll with advantage.
What am I rolling
guys are
for?
happy?
Investigation.
Just investigation, yeah.
18.
If they-
18. So you find one citrine worth 50 gold pieces going through the pockets and bags of the gnolls and around the area. You find a spell scroll. Hit, if you wanted to sort of have a look at the spell scroll, any caster would know what it was. It is a spell scroll of message. You find a pair of iron dice. Just a couple of d6s, which most of you have been around would know they're generally used for gambling. You find a ordinary shield from the guy that Nemaris was fighting, but it is a +1 shield, just a regular +1 shield. You also find a potion with yellowish liquid with what looks like an eyeball floating in it. And when you shake it, the eyeball vanishes for a time and then reappears. You also find a lantern, a small silver lantern with bronze, and it's lit, and it's extremely light, like there's no weight to it. But it's a silvery bronze, and a very intricate little lantern. And that's about it. And 500 gold pieces, sorry. Between all the bodies, you find about 500 gold pieces.
I'm going to take the liquid and sit down and try to identify it with a 19
With
to
a
help me.
19, you spend time looking at the liquid, you sort of move it around the bottle, and the eye's odd, that sort of blows your mind there for a minute, but then after spending that time with it, and sort of, you pop the top and give it a bit of a sniff, and you think, oh shit, of course. It's a potion of clairvoyance. When you drink this potion, you gain the effect of the clairvoyance spell.
Cool. And hand that to Ellie and say, potion of clairvoyance, probably worth it.
So that is about all you find on these bodies. It's still a clear day, but you're sort of early-ish afternoon, 1:30, 2 o'clock. You know that it's only going to be a couple of hours to get to Ardenis. Hett, you would know the area well enough, and you know that the Gnoll raiding parties, generally once disbanded, they don't normally raid that area again for some time. They're reasonably smart. They don't keep returning to the same area over and over again. So you know that you're probably safe to carry on travelling to Ardenis, but if you do want to make camp, that is up to you.
I don't know, Hett doesn't know about you guys. I think it's going to be pretty safe to travel for the next couple of hours without being too much worry. However, I would like to take a quick hour rest, like a short rest, if you guys don't mind.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
Just to recoup, and I need to get these arrows out of my side, because my jeebus, they hurt.
Sounds like a plan.
Would you like a hand with that? I can give it a good yank.
Yes, if you could just pull. I mean, it's going to hurt a lot. Maybe we should push them right through.
I
if
could do
just
that for you as well.
Yeah. At the same time, maybe once we've done that, I'll play a little ditty. I call it the Song of Rest, and it gives us, if we wanted to use our short rest to gain some hit points back, to gain some life back, my Song of Short Rest could gain us a little extra.
So
That sounds
I go
good.
over and I look at Hett and I'm like, you ready for this, buddy?
Okay. Take a deep breath and
I
Go.
push. And I
Some of it.
come out and I pull the other side.
Make a strength check for me.
11.
It
12,
take-
13.
It takes a little bit, but you managed to you managed to do what you're intending to do, and it hurts.
I am gnashing my teeth.
It hurts.
I
Yes,
looked
it
at
does.
Now, Hett has scales, right?
It does have scales.
I'm actually surprised that the arrows went through them.
Yeah, he's not a dragon, so his scales aren't as thick and as armorous as a dragon scale is.
Think of shooting a snake with an arrow, or a lizard, or a crocodile,
pretty
maybe.
much, yeah. It's. I mean, he definitely has a thicker hide than most humans, but it's still technically it's still just
See,
a
Hett?
humanoid.
If you'd been bloody human, those things would have gone straight through to start off with.
Oh, it's quite alright. I'm just gonna sit here and play my Song of Rest, and Hit just plays nothing vocally. He's too sweaty. He just plays a little tune to help everyone recover. So if you choose to use some hit dice, you can add an extra d6, which I am going to do.
Probably not a bad idea.
On my one, it says Barbarian hit die 1d12 plus.
It's only 1d12. That's your
Okay.
that's your actual hit dice. So you can roll. Your maximum amount of hit dice is what you roll, and you get when you do your XP, and you get an extra hit die every time you level up. So you're
Alright.
level 4, so you should be at the moment 4d10 is your or 4d12 is your hit dice.
Yep.
So you can roll all 4, or you can roll 1, you can roll 2, but you
okay.
can't do that again until you've had a long rest.
Oh,
Once you've
fine.
expended those dice, you can't get them back until you've completed a long rest.
If you tap your short rest button on D&D Beyond, it actually shows you
Yeah.
how many dice and tells you which dice you can use.
Exactly.
That's what I was just reading. I was like, eh?
Oh, okay. And Hit's wounds have closed up quite nicely.
Nice.
Big stretch. Get that armor back on in place. Ugh. Sadiq, it was a good call to retreat, I think, but I'm sorry. Sorry, friend, I just couldn't leave Namaris in the dust like that.
Oh, I understand.
So if everyone's happy and everyone's taking their my Song of Rest, I guess we look at pushing on.
Right. So yeah. So you gather your loot from your combat. You've gathered yourself after a short rest, just healing yourselves up, just to get yourself ready to travel, and you head to the west towards Ardenis. Can I get everyone just to make a general perception check as you travel?
$19.
Same as 19 for me too.
So
Sorry, 21.
yeah, so as you guys are traveling, you notice tracks, and since you've seen these gnolls, you know they're definitely gnoll tracks. Most of them are moving away from the area. You hear birds in the trees. It's a reasonably fine afternoon. You don't really notice anything. Like Hett, you are in familiar surroundings, so you're quite comfortable being here. You know this road very well. You've travelled this road a lot of times as a child, as a young dragonborn, and with friends, and you've been out here and hunted and all sorts of stuff. So you know where you're going. You're sort of just pointing yourself in that direction, and after about 30 minutes, 40 minutes or so, you see the outskirts of the township, the small city of Arnis. It is a walled community, so you see the walls of Arnis as you approach. The gates are open. It's a nice day. There are people in and around the entrance. There's like market stalls set up in the entrance. Travellers have sort of come and set up stalls to sell trade goods and things like that. And there are a couple of armed guards on the gates, as you would expect. Both Dragonborn. And as you approach, they sort of look and give you a nod. They're not stopping anyone from coming in. I mean, they have a lot of travellers in Arnis. So so you've now made it to the city, small city of Arnis. Hett, you know your way around, so you'd be able to take them directly to your home, which is in the Demon's Ward. Is in the eastern side of the city.
So I don't know, Timo, maybe would you like me to point you guys towards an inn, and I'll just catch up with maybe my family just before we roll in with like a group of us, surprising them. I might just see, just in case there's other family members staying or something.
Sounds like a good idea to me.
That would
So
definitely be.
I'll lead them to the nearest place. Nearest motel.
Nearest motel. Give me 1 second. I gotta find my notes here.
Don't worry, team. I'll pay for the beds and everything like that. I wouldn't expect you to pay for it since I'm leading you here.
Don't be silly. That's what we do.
Being silly is what we do. That is a great motto.
Right, so you would know that, and also in the Demon's Ward, actually not too far from your home, is the Paradym Demon, which is a small inn. It's comfortable, which would be well suited for your comrades' means. And so you lead them. It takes you about 30 minutes to sort of walk from the main gates through the Rogues Village area of the city, out through the market and back down into the Demon's Ward. You reach the Totem.
Welcome to the Demon's Ward.
The Paradym Demon Inn. It's a modest inn, decorated with dungeon doors. You know the innkeeper to be a male human by the name of Winnie. And he blames trolls for everything. That's just what he does. If anything goes wrong, it's the trolls did it. He's a bit of a character, but they have good rooms, they have good food, and I mean, you don't know him personally, Hett, but you know of him, and you know it's a good place to stay.
So come on in, team. This is the Paradym Demon. Don't take anything that says demon to heart. It's just a name. I'm looking at Sadiq when I say this. Come on in, and I open the door and I lead them inside, and I stroll up to the what I would assume would be a counter, and I knock on the desk and say, "Excuse me, Mr. Winnie, are you around?"
And when he's sitting there at the table, he's a tall man. Well, he's tall and sort of average built, probably about 6 foot. He is quite gruff. He's probably in his late 30s, early 40s. He's got a reasonably well kept beard, sort of salt and peppery. It's dark coloured, but you see grey starting to come through, and his hair's short, but not like sort of shoulder length short. Well kept. He looks up at you, and like he doesn't know you personally. I mean, he knows your family, so he would know who you are. And he sort of looks up at you and goes, "Well, Master Hett, I thought you were in Valon, sir."
Ah, yeah, you're not wrong. That's where we were. But just making a quick stop through visit.
Well, I'm glad to see you home. Under better circumstances, I'm sure. Sorry to hear of your brother's passing. I did quite enjoy having conversations with Adrian about the world and those damn trolls. He says as he sort of puts his finger out again. Obviously, your brothers have spent time here as well, and he knows most of your family by name. He then turns and says, "Well, what can I do for you today? I mean, I'm assuming you're home to see your parents and you don't need a place to stay. Maybe drinks
Well,
and food?"
actually, quite the contrary. I mean, I'm home to see my parents, but these are my friends, Namaris, Fiala, Sadiq, and Alessandros, and I'd like them to have a room for the night. I mean, all separate rooms if you can, or two, just split them with. Just while I pop in on the folks.
And he picks up a book from behind the desk and he sort of goes through this. He says, well, we do have a couple of rooms available. I'm quite sure that we can accommodate.
Sweet. What is that? I'll pay for it. You just let me know how much.
It'd be 2 gold pieces each per night. I think that's relatively reasonable. I'm sure your father
That's
would approve.
fine. I'll pay for the first night and see what's happening at home, and then we'll work it from there. Is that cool, team?
Sounds right for me, but I'm quite happy to pay for. I would think we'd be happy to pay for our own rooms, to be honest.
Hett's already dropping gold on the
Yeah,
counter.
so, and when he takes the gold quite happily, and he turns around the register and just passes the register, says, just if you don't mind, Master Hett, I just need a signature to verify that these are your guests and that you've paid. And you can see he's written down there 2 gold pieces per night, Master Hett's guests, and you just put your scratch mark down on that.
Yep, Hett scratches it and they're done.
Awesome. So when he says, and sort of turns to the rest of you and says, "Welcome to the Toad and Demon. Food and ale at your disposal. Rooms are up the stairs to the left, and I hope you enjoy your stay." And he sort of bows. He seems almost too proper to be working in an inn, but that's just who he is.
Hett then quickly tells the crew where they can find, like a general store and bits and pieces like that, and then he heads off to his family home.
So you guys get told, like Hett tells you where the markets and everything are, and Hett, you take your leave and you head towards your family home. You know it's not far, so it's definitely not going to take you long to get there. Backstory, go. You barely looking up as you're walking. You sort of make your way through the narrow streets, and 5 minutes you find yourself standing at the gates of your home. It's as you remember it. It's a large grounds, probably one of the larger homes in this particular area. Your father and your family are both well respected and well known in Arnis. You sort of look up, and before you go through the gates, you look at the house, you look at the grounds, and everything seems very, very familiar. It doesn't really seem to have changed. I mean, you've not been gone years. I mean, you've only been gone probably a couple of months at most. You have spent time away before at the Bardic Academy, so it's not like it's anything different, but this time, obviously, under the circumstances, you're a little concerned about what's going to happen. You're not sure what's the reaction you're going to get. So you
Stroll on in.
You open the gates, you walk up, you get to the door, you knock, or do you just walk in?
I think I just walk in. I've been living here a while. I don't feel like to knock.
So you walk into the house, and you walk into the entry hall of your home. It is, as you remember it, it's just a standard entry hall. It's a 2-storied manor home. Your dining area and kitchen to the right. To the left would be like a drawing room, sitting room, library, things like that. The upstairs would be the living quarters. Your father's office would be upstairs. Your bedrooms, yours and your brother's rooms. There was 4 rooms to be shared between all of you. The eldest obviously had his own room for a time. The rest of you shared, which was nothing for you guys. You'd grown up with it. You were all close. You have a decision to make. Do you want to find your mother first, or would you like to go speak to your father?
Hett wants to talk to his father, but he goes to his mother first.
So you know your mother at this time of the day is most likely in the garden. She spends a lot of time in the garden at the back of the property. There's a fountain out there. There's flowers, flower gardens, and she often sits out there and sings with the birds and everything else. It's a nice peaceful part of the house. So you move through the house. You then walk through the rear doors of the property, and as you head into the garden, you find your mother. She looks just exactly how you remember her. Pale skin, long burgundy hair. She's playing a song you know very well. A tale of blood brothers. You stop and you listen for a few moments before you approach and disturb her. And what do you say as you approach?
Hett just, as she's playing at the end of the song, or part of the song, Hett just sort of pulls his lute out and kind of accompanies her so she notices him.
She initially doesn't stop playing. She turns and sees you and continues to play and sing for a minute or two, and you can see the tears sort of welling up in her eyes. She's obviously pleased. They're happy tears. It's not sad, but she's definitely pleased to see you. She then stops and puts her own lute down and stands and just puts her arms out. Obviously in the motion of beckoning you to her.
Hett does the right thing and slings his lute back and walks forward and gives her an embrace.
And she squeezes back and really tight, and you feel those warm tears hit your shoulder as they run down her face. And she then, as a whisper, side by side, right next to your ear, you hear her thanking the Steel Lady that you've made it home and that you are able to be here. She then pushes you back to arm's length, hands on each shoulder, and she says to you, "Let me look at you. Are you eating properly? Are you sleeping? You look pale, Hett. Are you sure you're looking after
it's
yourself?"
good. It's good. I'm eating pretty good. Tried mushrooms, didn't like them. Otherwise fine.
You look a little tired.
Getting heaps of sleep. Oh, I'm always tired.
You have enough gold to keep you going? Do you need anything? I'm so glad to see you.
Oh, no, I don't. I really, honestly, Mother, it's as lovely as it is to see you. I mean, obviously we're here on the set of meetings. When is the soiree, the gathering as such?
Well, you've come just in time. Tomorrow we'll be sending Adrian to her ancestors. It is a sad time, and you can see that she is definitely. I mean, obviously her oldest child has been slain, and she's distraught by that. But she's also, it's a mixed emotion because she's so happy to see you home, being her youngest, and at the same time losing her oldest. She then goes on to tell you in more detail about the death of Adrian, and she says to you, it was an ancient red dragon, Hett. It's something that we have not seen in a very, very long time. Your father has spent nothing the whole time since Adrian's death in his library, just studying, looking at books, trying to figure out what is happening. We've heard rumors of a prophecy. We're not sure. Your father is so distant. I'm not sure what to do. He's not telling me anything.
Yeah, I've got to go and catch him, really. Look, don't panic. I know of the prophecy. Well, I've got a bunch of friends with me that are pretty damn good fighters. we actually got in a bit of a tussle on the way here and cleaned it up, no worries. Nonetheless, yeah, have we got room for them? I've got them staying at the inn at the moment, but if there's a chance we could have them here.
Of course, I mean, your brothers are off doing their thing as you are, so all of the rooms are available. We can certainly put up your friends.
Are they all coming back for tomorrow?
No, you're the only one that's been able to make it. We've sent messages to the rest, but we have not heard anything back. I'm just glad that at least one of you came home. I mean, it is customary that the next eldest brother is the one to light the pyre, but as you are the only brother here, that honor will fall to you, of course. But this dragon, you need to speak to your father more about it. He I think he knows more. But
yeah, that's I thought you'd say that. Do you mind sending a message to the inn, the Toad and Demon, and just let my friends know? And I sort of screw up a quick message for just to send to the inn, so they let the friends know they can come to the house.
Of course, Hett. I'll send one of the servants out immediately. I'm so glad to see you. She gives you another big hug, and
I already paid Winnie. Tell him he can keep the gold. It doesn't matter.
It's fine. He's a good man. He'll understand. And with that, she sort of says, "I'm so pleased to see you home. I know it will only be for a short time, but you have no idea." And again, she just pulls you in for a big embrace, and like really squeezes you tight.
Okay, he sort of taps her back of his shoulders. Alrighty. Thanks, Mum. I gotta go and face father now, so...
Yes, he's in his office, and you know where it is.
Get out of hugging mode.
Yeah, so she tells you he's in his office, which you know exactly where it is. It's on the second floor, one of the larger rooms. And when I say his office, it's his study. It contains all his books and knowledge and things like that on his adventuring and the years that he spent adventuring and still is to a certain
Sorry,
degree.
team. Won't take too long.
It's all good. Yeah, guy. Other players, if you want to go for a quick bio, we'll get back to you in just a moment. So you head back into the house. You make your way upstairs. And you now find yourself at your father's office door, which is closed.
100% knock this time.
Sign of respect. You knock. How do you knock? Do you knock hard, soft?
I put the back of my knuckles up to the door, and it's 3 solid taps.
Right. From inside the room, you hear a muffled enter.
Stroll in.
And
Close the door behind me.
As you enter the room, it's much how you remember it. Books lining the walls, bookshelves. One area of the wall has weapons and armor, and which is to be your father's adventuring armor. It's all laid out and displayed, and you find Iron sitting behind his large wooden desk, papers scattered all over it, scrolls, books, open books. His head's down, he has not looked up. He is currently going over a large scroll, and he says under his breath, "Oh, so you've come home." Hasn't looked up yet.
Yes, Father, I'm here. Actually been making a pretty good trick. The academy, and you can sort of tell he's like flustered a bit.
Yeah.
The academy took us in, so I'm part of the Black Lion now. That's a good start, right?
So, the world too much for you, is it? So you've come running home to Mummy and Daddy? Or
Um,
is there another reason you've decided to grace us with your presence?
well, I mean, I was kind of, we were on a mission doing some other things. There's a team of people with us too, Father. They're coming to stay. They're a great bunch, part of the academy too. But no, we were actually on our way of some great importance. Something to do with a prophecy you may have heard of. And then, yeah, I
And
got
he
the
cuts
news
you
of,
off and he says, prophecy? What do you know of this prophecy? And he looks up and you can see now the man, his whole sort of appearance has changed. His gruffness softens and you can see almost a look of concern on his face as you speak the words prophecy. And he now looks intently at you and says, quickly, what do you know of the prophecy?
he tells him everything he knows, just that you're picking up the paper and being charged with the parts of the work we've got.
And he sort of, again, he leans back in his chair and he then sort of says, and then he almost a look of realization comes over his face. And he says to you, of course, you would be here because of Adrian's passing.
Correct.
I've been so distracted with this prophecy, and it's almost like he wants to apologize, but he's too proud to apologize for being so gruff with you. He then, again, you can see his skin, like his bronze scales, are looking pale, and he just looks older than you remember. Like you've only been gone a couple of months, but he just looks so much older now than you ever have remembered him before. And he says to you, he says, well, he fought well. He died like a warrior should, axe in hand. Damned red-skinned beasts. If only I was younger, I would track that thing to the edge of the earth and slay it myself. But as you can see, age is taking its toll. I have not been able to adventure like I once did, and I fear that my days are numbered. And you can see he's not looking well. He doesn't look sick, but he just doesn't look himself.
He nuts up at this point and goes, look, Father, I've got it under control. If you pass me maybe a book you have on the Red Dragon, I will suss it. We will get it sorted. Leave it to me. I have been studying hard. I've been praying to the Steel Lady. I've been using all the cleric spells I know. I feel like I've gotten stronger within my initial power.
And he sort of looks at you and goes, ha, still see you playing that infernal thing, pointing to the loot on your back though. It gives almost a disapproving look, but at the same time it was almost a comedic quip. Just poking a bit of fun at you.
Hett pulls the loot forward and shows him the Steel Lady's symbol that's etched into the head now.
Well, I hope that the infernal tootlings on that thing are at least helping you in your travels. And I am pleased to hear that you're following the way of the cleric. I still am concerned with your other talents. These people you bring with you, you trust them?
With my life. Actually, they've saved it like twice.
He sort of gets out from behind his desk and walks towards you. Doesn't say anything, gives you a really intense sort of look, and then just reaches out and puts his hand on your shoulder and gives it a light squeeze, which is probably the only time he's ever shown any affection really towards you in your whole life. And then he turns and sort of heads back to his desk and half turns to you and says, bring your friends. They can use your brother's rooms. If you trust them, they are most welcome, and they're also welcome at the ceremony tomorrow, if you so wish. And he sits back down at his desk and says, my library is yours. You know where everything is. Let me get back to my work. And he starts poring over the scrolls again.
Thank you, Father. And he sort of buzzes around the library, picking up anything he can find on red dragons. And of course, then, yeah, I'd like to, I guess, deal with the rest of the crew because they've 4 teams being left out.
So yeah, you spend maybe 10 or 15 minutes sort of going through looking for some books, and you pick up 2 or 3 books on dragons, one in general, dragons in general, one specifically on a specific ancient red dragon, and another book on prophecies, on the realm's prophecies, which you know will have maybe a little bit more information about this particular prophecy.
Cool.
You then make your way back towards the inn, and in that time, here we go. As you head back towards the inn, as you reach the gate, you come across a blue dragonborn. Someone you recognize, someone you haven't seen in some time. Dressed in paladin robes in the colours of the Steel Lady. You haven't seen each other in some time. You were firm friends. And he recognizes you instantly. Well, Hett, I didn't realize you were in town. So glad to see you. And he reaches out his hand in a warrior's handshake, as most people do. And you recognize him as Shazu Sinai. He left to become a paladin at the same time you left to become a bard/cleric and join the Adventurers Guild.
Okay. Howdy, Shazu.
Well, what brings you back to town? I'd heard you'd joined the Adventurers Guild in Velond and were slaying dragons and demons and undead things.
Well, you're right. I am back for, I don't know, unless you didn't know, my brother's passing 80. He seems to have been slain in battle, but only back for a quick visit.
We did, the rest of us did hear. I'm so sorry to hear of his passing, but I understand he died a warrior's death, as we all wish. As you can see, I've become a paladin, and it's awesome. I'm loving it. Looking at joining the city guard here as a paladin / warrior, but glad to see you home. If you get a chance, if you're here for a few days, pop in and to the temple and come and say good day to the rest of us.
Which temple might that be, Shazu?
The Temple of the Steel Lady, of course.
Oh, you're under the Steel Lady? That is awesome.
Yes, Paladin of the Steel Lady, my friend. The only lady that should be worshipped, in my opinion. But others have their own gods, I guess. But yes, if you have time, definitely come and spend some time at the temple.
Alright, Shazu, good to see you. I must be off.
No problems. And he again offers his hand in a warrior's shake, and you're on your way. Right, you head back to the inn, you walk back into the inn, and the others are sitting down having a drink. What are you guys going to do next? Actually, we should take a small break.
Assumes they all did something while he
we can go back to that in just a second. Before we do that, we're going to take a short break. And I know the other players have gone out and got a drink, but I need to get a drink and I need a pee. So we will take a short break. We'll be right back. Chat. We'll answer any small questions, a few questions we get back. But we'll be right back. And I'm back. Alright, chat.
Just back to.
And let's see where we are here.
Chiddly chaddly.
Chiddly chat. We are back. Yes, a blue dragonborn. It's a rare dragonborn, but they're out there. Just like the white ones.
That is so racist.
Sorry, I'm having a chicken sandwich. I was hungry. Yeah, why not? I have a cup of tea, thanks. My teacup's in the kitchen somewhere. But yeah, so interesting conversation with Hett's dad.
Yeah, I wasn't too sure how that was going to go.
There was two ways it could have got. There was two ways that I'd planned it to go, depending on how you interacted as well. Same with your mother. So I actually had two conversations written up for both characters.
Oh, sweet.
So it could have gone a little differently each time, but it actually worked out pretty well.
That's pretty much exactly how I imagined his dad, though. This is that, standoffish sort of kid trying to live up to it but never be good enough, but the dad sort of, in his own way, knowing what he was up to.
But at the same time, it's almost like old age is starting to take effect now. He knows he's not going to be around forever.
The old Dragonborns only do about 80.
Yeah, so he'd be getting towards. I mean, because what's your character's age?
I think I'm
27?
in my 20s.
20s, yeah. So he would be getting towards the end of his life with 7 children.
Yeah, 21.
Yeah, so with you being the youngest of 7 children, even if they had them sort of all a year apart, if it was like a year difference between everybody, that would still mean he'd still, even if if they had them young, he'd still be in his sort of late 50s, I would imagine. So he's definitely getting towards the end of his Dragonborn life.
Yeah, like I say, 80 is about the maximum. So, if you compare it, most of them are going to be living between 60 and 70 somewhere. So, yeah,
pretty much, yeah. Right. So, right, once Namaris is back, which he shouldn't be too far away, we'll get this back on the road. We've got about
on the road again.
About 40 minutes to go, so we can get a bit more. We probably won't get to the ceremony tonight. We'll probably save that for next time. Make that the last show for the year.
We shouldn't be fighting anymore. Critical gnolls.
Critical no. So you're back?
Yep.
Right. We are back. We are... My quiet in is not working. I need to find out why. Go. So we're back at the inn. Hett, you walk back in. You find your friends sitting at the inn. Did you guys want to do anything while Hett was at his dad's, in particular?
I would have liked to have washed up by now and cleaned all the dust off.
Yep, you guys would definitely have cleaned yourselves up. Was there any particular conversations that you wanted to have while Hett was away? So Hett would have been gone for probably an hour. Maybe closer to, maybe an hour or two.
While we're in the room, I kind of turned to Yad, and I'm like, you know how you were talking about spending some time with Elle?
He's talking to you, Yanti.
Oh,
Yayla, sorry.
I think she broke up a little. I was talking about spending some time with
elves.
She's eating,
oh, yes.
That's why.
I think when we finish this and done our next lot of things that we need to do, would you like to come and spend some time with us at the Arcanus Potter? And I'm pretty sure that Thorfinn would be able to teach us.
Oh, actually, that sounds really good. think I'd like that.
Oh, good. I'll just get hold of Dad and ask him. He should be fine.
Right. So, anyone else wanting to have a conversation about anything in particular?
No, I'm good.
Actually, I would like to talk to Ali.
Go for it.
Oh, crap.
So,
Put your microphone on, Trash. We can't hear you.
Alejandrus, can I just briefly talk to you about a couple battles back? I was fighting as an ape, and I kind of think I saw things. Did I see things I shouldn't have seen? Maybe.
Whatever you saw, I'm sure it'll work out.
Nothing you want to maybe tell me about my.
Cut
I
off.
reach over and grab Fiala's hand gently and change my hand into scales like Hett's.
Are you a druid?
No, I'm a changeling.
Is that like a people druid?
Awesome.
No, it's a different race.
So, do you have to see the person to change like I do, kind of thing?
Yeah, I suppose you could say that.
For general rule, yeah. If you're wanting to shapeshift into another person, you'd have to have seen them.
All right, I'm gonna think on this and get back to you.
So was this openly at the table with the rest of the group?
No, I got pulled her to the side.
Okay.
And turn my hand back.
Right. Anything else? Oh,
No, I'm good.
reminds me. Sadiq, you receive a letter, sir.
Oh, great.
You, while the Hett was off talking to his dad, you find it. I will DM it to you in Discord. So that way, if you want to read it to the group, you can. If not, it's up to you. Oh crap, okay, that didn't work. So it's the message is sent. That is the letter that you receive. It's up to you whether you share it with the group.
Orcs read slowly.
I just clicked on what you see. You gotta fill the void with some noise while he's reading.
Pretty much.
Well, his intelligence isn't that high, so...
He's sounding it out.
I don't know if you've look across the group, man. No one's intelligence is that.
No, it's not. I mean, I think everyone's int's about 10 or lower.
I think
No,
Alessandro's
mate.
the most intelligent.
Alessandro's is the highest at 13.
Oh no, I got 10. It's my charisma, that's 8.
Yeah, no, Maris is the 8. And Hett.
Yeah, I've got the real high intelligence. And
So
it
yeah,
goes
so
now.
while Sadiq reads the letter that he is given, Hett walks back into the inn, sees you guys, and sits down at the same table. What do you do?
Hello, everybody.
Shit, how did it go?
Terrible. We're not welcome. We should leave now.
Awesome, let's go.
I wanted to see Dragonborns.
Do I need to go and hit somebody?
No, it's good. I was just having you on. Actually, I must say, my mother was as pleasant as usual. And actually, my father took it pretty well too. I think he likes the fact that I'm adventuring with a bunch of worthy people, even though he hasn't met you yet. And they've said that you guys can come and stay at our place, since most of my brothers haven't made it back. Like, none of them. So, yeah. So there's plenty of room. So don't worry about staying here in this dive. I mean, no offense, Winnie.
Winnie still looks up and goes, What? What? You said something?
Oh, didn't. Never mind. Keep the money though. It's fine. We're staying here.
Oh, right.
So yeah, no, it's good.
Okay then. That's fine. He sort of carries on. He's not really too fussed at all. He's got gold. He's happy.
I should have warned you all though. My mum, she's pretty, mother, pretty straight up. She's happy, go lucky, but more free. My father, just pay respects, shake his hand properly, call him sir or Mr. Maiden, but don't joke around with him. He's not the one who I get the joke in from. I'm looking at you, Ellie.
What'd I do?
No, I mean, you're more of a free spirit like myself, but he won't tolerate. You might get turned to ash.
Okay, so...
Does that mean that your father's a dragon?
Well,
I mean, he's a dragonborn, but his breath is a little different to mine, and his abilities. Well, he's not a bard, let's say.
he's a level 20 cleric. Let's get it out there.
I was going to say he's in the echelons, or the upper echelons of the Steel Lady herself, and he is of the clerical nature. He is a battle warrior and healer.
He'd be classed as a battle cleric or a battle mage.
So we probably
Correct.
know Thorfy then. Maybe.
Possibly.
He
Maybe
might do.
Okay.
I mean, we could ask him.
So what you're telling me is prank your dad? Yeah, I can do that. Not a problem.
I grab hold of Ali by the shoulder and I look at her and I don't think so, love.
Why not?
Oh no, by all means, go for it. Just don't include me.
But...
Crack up.
Does anybody have a charm person spell or a mute spell?
Oh, Ellie,
Right.
I've got this for you too, that reminds me. And Hett shows a small wrist bracelet that he opens in his hand, and there's a little bracelet. Looks like it's gold.
What, you proposing to me or something?
No, I found it.
Sorry, what was that?
You cut out, dude.
Oh, sorry. No, I just found it. It's for you.
Thank you.
You put it on.
I suppose so.
Add to your notes.
Sweet.
A gold bracelet present from him.
It looks lovely.
Anything else you guys want to do before heading back to the maiden's home? Because by now you're probably looking early evening, probably around dinner time. So you'll be looking at feeding yourselves either here or at the maiden's.
I think maybe we should have dinner here before we go, just so that we're not imposing too much.
I agree.
So you want to have dinner at the Demon's Ward?
It's probably a good idea. I mean, Mum was in the garden, so I don't know if she was cooking. I don't know if it's really the best time to expect them to cook for us. Maybe tomorrow, or when we stay there, I'll do the food preparation.
You should have had a make mushroom omelette.
Oh, crack up. So you order food after about 15...
DM, you got that message then? Sweet.
Yes, I got that message. So, Sadiq, before we carry on, do you wish to involve the group in the letter or no?
I'm gonna just say that we have been invited to. Oh crap! I forgot what the place is called.
Aris.
Yeah, Aris by Cass Agberg.
Cass Agnand.
Yeah, which I've got the feeling is the head vampire.
So you've now basically. Do you want me to read out the letter, or are you going to read it out?
No, I'm just gonna leave it at that. We've been invited there.
You mean
by the
summoned?
Well, no, invited to our to go there and get one
killed?
step closer to
Sorry.
our destiny.
Did you say?
You've essentially got two choices. You can take the word of the letter and travel to Aris, or you can, before you do that, still travel to Cedar and do the investigation there, which was the missive you received from your Bloodhunter clan.
I'm gonna say we go to do the investigation at City, and then we'll head across because the other place I think is a good distance away.
Yeah, you all have a map. So the moment you hear the name of Aris, you check your map, and you know that it's from where you currently are. It's on the same continent. So it's on the southwest or southeastern edge of this particular continent. You will have to travel by water to get there. It's across a bay. But you would have heard of Addis. From where you are, you got the Graven Waste. The next county over is the Begilia Mountains.
Okay.
Which is the mountain range, or the Citadel Hills, where the Begilia Mountains are. Then you have the Cardi River area. And then if you carry on from there off to the coast, you will have the small city of Aris. Okay. Yeah, I got that message.
Sweet.
Yeah, so I mean, everyone, if you pull it, like say, if you were collectively going to pull out your maps, you'd all know that Cedar, where you're initially looking to investigate, you have to travel through into the Citadel Hills and then go north towards the city, the township of Cedar. To get to Aris, it's literally going through Citadel Hills, then to the Cardi River, Snakemore River area, and then across a bay to the small city of Aris. There's also a castle marked on the map called Keir Imroth. Sorry. Some of you may have heard of it, some of you may not have. If you wanted to roll a history check, you can roll a history check. See if you've heard of
Rolling history.
the castle.
With a 2, I know nothing.
Nope. You got no clue whatsoever here.
It's just summoning the waitress.
I got a 22, so.
You got 22. You'd probably know anyway, Sadiq, because of the information that you've had. That Keir Imroth is an old castle. It's believed to be abandoned, but is also the possible site of a vampire coven. Now, coupled with this letter, putting 2 and 2 together with that roll, you now believe that Keir Imroth is undoubtedly the home of Cass Agnand, also known Cass the Bloody. And if he's inviting you to Aris, then chances are he also has strong influence in that town.
Quick question. Are we ready to go to that kind of a soiree?
You don't know.
Oh, hell no.
Well, it depends. I mean, like I said, you possibly could be. It's up to you. I mean, your decisions are your decisions. Whether this ends in a battle is completely up to you. At the end of the day, I mean, it's how you basically take the situation. As far as you know, you've just been invited to a city to possibly meet with this Cass Agnand, and nothing more.
We've just been invited to meet someone important, eh?
Yeah, Sadiq, you're probably a little bit. You're reading a lot more into it. Obviously, you roughly know who this guy possibly is, and you know that he would definitely not to be trifled with. But at the same time, with what happened to you, emotionally, your judgment can be clouded at times, made based on the knowledge that he more than likely led the attack on your village.
I'm gonna scry a note for the order.
Yeah.
With the information.
Okay. Cool. No problem. You can do that. You can pass it on to a messenger, and they'll get that sent. So, dinner is ordered and received. Everyone orders whatever they wish to eat. The inn has a substantial menu. They have hot and cold meats, raw and cooked meats. They have a reasonable amount of vegetables. Nothing over the top, like not getting a lord's meal here, but it's a serviceable meal. I've got good ale and whiskey available. So you all get whatever you wish to drink for the evening. You get a meal, you fill your bellies, you have a few drinks before you decide to head back to the maiden's home and bed down for evening. So depending on what time you want to head back there, by the time you finish your meals, you're probably looking about 7ish. So the sun would definitely be on its way down, if not down already.
During the meal, Hett says to Ellie, "Did you read the inscription on that bracelet I gave you?"
There was a what now?
The inscription on the bracelet I gave you.
There
So
was?
You look down at your wrist where you attached the bracelet, and it's gone.
Okay. Did you just prank me?
What happened to the bracelet? I
You
gave it
pranked
to you
me.
as a gift.
You pranked me, didn't you?
How did I prank you? Is giving a gift a prank where you come from?
I'm lost. I don't know.
No, you're right, I pranked you.
I was just gonna get him to make a wisdom save.
I can create these little things.
Oh shit!
I was maybe hoping
I
you'll get accused
probably
of stealing.
I probably gave it away a little bit. So it's probably my fault when I giggled before.
It's all good.
But yeah, okay. Yeah, she got pranked. It was a good one.
There'll be more where that came from.
You all have a good laugh at. I mean, it was obviously open out. Everyone sort of saw what happened, and you all had a bit of a chuckle to yourselves. You then decide to head back to. You are close to where you come from as well, yes, Auntie. You would know this. You know that where the Graven Waste is close to where you or your region, because obviously the Begilia Mountains are named after your mentor. You decide to head back to Hett's family's place for the evening. So you get there about 7:30, 7:45. Hett leads you into the main hall. You are greeted by one of your father's, I wouldn't say servant, more like almost like a squire. A young halfling who runs messages and for the family and for your father. He was on his way out, heading home for the evening, and he sort of nods and doesn't really say anything to you guys. Just sort of nods and and heads out as you sort of leave the house. Hett, you show your friends to your brother's rooms. There are four rooms. Did I say four? Yeah, 4 rooms. 3 largest rooms that are serviceable enough for 2 people. There's 2 beds. They're quite big rooms, enough for two people to share. Then there's a single room, which was big, essentially big enough for 1 person. So Hett, being that this was Addie's room, I would assume that you would want to take that room for the evening, since you're the only brother home.
Yes, Ted will.
And you show your friends to the other rooms, and they get themselves comfortable, and you essentially turn in for the night. Is there anything you guys wanted to discuss or do before you turned in for the evening?
Yes, Ted wanted to catch Sadiq.
Okay.
I'm just gonna sit down and polish my sword and just do a little bit of maintenance.
Okay, no problem.
Hett pulls Sadiq aside before everyone enters the rooms, and just sort of leads him sort of down an empty corridor or near a table or something away from the rest of the group.
Yep, that's easy enough to do. Well, you know the house, so you can lead him down the balcony a bit further, down towards where your father's office would be, and
Careful,
sort of
he's
be
gonna
like
off
a
you.
be like a side table, be like a side table there with a couple of chairs.
Sadiq, I'd like to have a quick chat if you don't mind.
Yes.
Yeah. Just
Everyone's
sit down
so
here with me.
suspicious.
It's because of my toothy grin. It's actually quite serious. I just wanted your opinion on something. Does
Yeah.
this leather armor make me look...
Oh no.
What?
No, I'm kidding. That's not what I wanted to ask you, though. I just thought I'd open with an icebreaker. I've got a decision to make, and I wondered, with your line of work, maybe you could push me in the right direction. See, I've trained for as long as I can remember, as in music, in arts, being this bard, this creator, you see. And I'd done some training with my father as a cleric as well, and I'm really confused at which way I should head. And I was looking at what you do as for a living, fighting for the good side, I suppose. And which way do you think I am better suited? Should I stick with what I know, or should I go more for what my father thinks I would be good at? What do you see?
What do you think?
Well, I don't know, that's why I'm asking you.
Well, yes.
roll
The-
an insight check for me.
That'll be a 20.
20. With that roll, looking at Hett, you can see that he's definitely he's torn. He's torn between two things he enjoys. Like, he definitely enjoys the clerical spells and the arcane or the divine, but you can see that he has an absolute passion for being a bard, playing music, poetry, art. The artist in him, it's a passion more than just being good at. Like, he's definitely good at the clerical stuff, and you can see he's definitely torn. It's almost like Dad wants him to be this because you have to be this because I'm this kind of thing. Your brothers went out and were adventurers. You've sort of seen this stuff before within your own family and with the dynamics of an orc clan.
I'm gonna look at him and I'm gonna go, look, you seem to be good the way you are, so why not just stay the way you are? Be both. Neither one or the other. I'm actually looking at becoming something else as well, because I see a shortfall with my abilities, being that whenever I activate a lot of my powers, I take damage and I can't get that back. So I'm trying
Yes,
to
I
think,
see.
trying to think of a way that I can do more good by splitting my path as well, which you seem to have done and found a nice balance. So why not just stick with what you're doing, and later down the track, if you find that one path is better than the other, go with that one until you find another path that you need to take. It's just easier to go that way.
That's some wise advice, thanks. I knew that one dude in the group that could help me would be you. It's good to hear that you're having decisions of your own to make. Do you know which way you're leaning towards? I may be able to help if it's bardic of any description. I can teach you to play the lute. I own a drum and a flute.
And he's a poet to boot.
No. You're a cunning linguist.
Yes. I've also been told that.
No, I'm thinking that I need to look into some way that I can bolster myself, whether that be via a cleric means or a paladin type sort, or
I
I'm
see.
just not sure.
Well, if you're gonna go on the path of paladin or cleric, I don't know if you have a deity you follow right now, but the Steel Lady. Hold a second, and
Hett rummages through his pockets to see if he's got another medallion. Oh, do I know somewhere in the house we might keep some spears?
You probably would. Actually, you probably would. You're actually in Adrian's room. There would definitely be a medallion still.
No,
hold right there. Hold it right
no,
there.
no, Hett, I already have my own god, and
Oh,
he's
you
a
do?
god of. He is a god of war.
Okay.
And I can't remember the name of that god.
Tempest.
That's right, Tempest. Do you share that information with Hett? Name?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, Hett, didn't mean to step on your toes. I didn't realize you followed a religion of any kind. Were your people punished?
Why would my people be punished?
I just wondered if that's why you were as hideous as I am.
No, I don't think I'm hideous. I don't think you're hideous. I think you're you, and I think I'm me, and I think
Oh
everyone
no, I
else
don't
is
think you're hideous
themselves.
either. That's just what Ellie keeps saying.
Roll a what now?
I was just gonna get Sadiq to roll a persuasion check to see if Sadiq falls for it.
Come on. Oh, it's good. 14 plus 5, 19.
Oh, shit. Yeah, Sadiq, you believe Hett when he tells you that Alessandra called you hideous. You think he's
Right. Okay.
Don't take it to heart. She's a funny one. I think because she can swap formats. It's weird. I don't know what's going on there. Makes me cringe and style a little.
What? She
yes.
swaps formats. What?
Oh, did you not see that? Oh, crikey.
See what?
You're in for a real treat. Oh, she's good at dress-up games, let me tell you. She's like a cosplay. She's like a cosplay.
Hett, you are one sick individual. You like
I tell you now.
halflings?
You could put her in a room with a squirrel, a monkey, and a rabbi, and she could be there and you wouldn't even know. She'd probably go to the bar and ask for a beer at the same time, and you'd be like, "Whoa, I don't even know where Ellie is. Is she the squirrel, the rabbi, or the monkey?"
Oh shit.
What is happening?
Anyway,
I'm doing an insight check.
anyway, good night.
Roll
I'll see you.
Roll the insight check.
That's a dirty 20.
Dirty 20? Yeah, it's up to Hett. Are you going to tell him, is he figuring out that you're lying? You telling the truth, or what? We're going to leave it as that. I'll give you the option to tell him the truth or no.
I'm telling the truth that she's really good at hiding in plain sight.
There you go.
So I'll leave it at that.
Leave it at that.
Right.
So anyway, good night. Thanks for the chat. It's been enlightening.
Always a pleasure, Hett.
But I do appreciate you showing me the traps and that the other day, and I do appreciate the advice. All jokes aside.
Anytime.
And heads off to his room.
Sadiq, is there anything you want to do before you retire for the evening, given this conversation?
I'm gonna definitely scratch my head for a little bit and go, that is one fucked up individual. And then go to bed.
Awesome, and we will end it there with everyone asleep in their beds. We're about 10 minutes out from the finish, so we're going to end our story there for the evening. Thank you everyone for turning up. Thank you for the players yet again. Some amazing roleplay tonight. We're going to hand out some XP. So,
sorry, actually, mate, that's just hilarious.
That was awesome. That was so fucking cool. It was well done. Well done, players. Roleplay, amazing again tonight by everybody, even with the short amount there was for some people. But Hett, roleplay for your dad and your mum, great. It was awesome. So, XP for the combat was, even though a couple of them ran away, I'm gonna give you full XP for the whole combat anyway. Plus, we're gonna add for roleplay tonight because it was such an awesome roleplay, especially that last piece. We're gonna make it an even 1,000 XP for everyone for the night. So we should get some level ups out of that.
Sweet.
So those that level up, I will check your sheets and that to over the course of the next 2 weeks. Don't forget to do your hit points. So roll your hit dice and add those. If you have any issues doing that, let me know. I can help you out. And then I'll change levels and stats and stuff accordingly over the next couple of weeks. In 2 weeks' time, which will be the 8th of December, will be our next and final show for the year. Which will be, I'd say the bulk of it is going to be the ceremony to say taddy bye to Adrian, Hett's brother. And maybe a little bit of travelling, possibly. We'll see how it goes. I'm not sure about combat. I'll decide whether we're going to have a combat situation or not. We might do, we might for the final show do the ceremony and maybe a shopping episode just to keep it all in town, and we'll start fresh with a new adventure come the new year. What we will be doing at the end of that show, or towards the end of that show, we will be doing, before we come back for the new year, we'll be doing a time jump. So everyone will get a level, and you will have to decide what you're going to do for the 6 months that the time jump will be. So essentially, because you guys have decided you wanted to head towards Seta to do the investigation there, what we may do is have you do that one as the final show. We'll do a bit of the ceremony, might do a bit of shopping, and then we'll head to that and maybe do that whole portion of it and stop it there. So we'll figure out a way to get you there quickly-ish. And we'll do that. We'll make that the final show. Then it'll be a 6-month time jump. Decide what you're going to do in that 6 months as individuals or as a group. I think Neymaris had just started a portion of that with Fiala, with inviting her to spend some time in Valond, to spend some time learning about elves and her history and things like that. So that could possibly be part of that time jump. Because I'm going to give you guys a level, it'll give you a chance to multi-class and spend time training in that class as well. And you'll also each get a free language to add to your group. So think of a language you want to learn in that 6 months, and we'll look at a proficiency in another set of tools over that 6 months as well. So we'll, again, over the break, we'll try and catch up with everybody and discuss what they want to do, what languages and tools they want to do, and also anything to do with that time frame. When we come back, our first episode will be going through those scenarios with each player and making some dice rolls for proficiencies and things like that, and sort of see how those things play out. So that'll be our first show back in the new year, which I haven't set a date for yet. But we'll put that out. But apart from that, thank you very much, chat. Thanks for the players again. Amazing show. Loved it. It was a lot of fun. We'll see you again in a couple of weeks. And Baz, we'll probably see you this weekend.
Yeah. I'll
For
slip
our
out
game.
gigs for D&D tomorrow.
Yeah, mate.
Yep.
No dramas. But thank you, everybody. We're going to call it there, and we will see you all Monday for some gaming. So if you're wanting to do Monday, we're going to be doing Jedi Fallen Order. Some more of that. That story is amazing. Loving that game. We will see you then for that, and in a couple of weeks for some more D&D.
Bye.
Catch ya.